7:46. If you're out and about today, you may see a lot of people wearing red ribbons. That's because today is World AIDS Day. There's a big one, in fact, right in the front of the White House. Here in the D.C. area, there is a lot being done to decrease AIDS and HIV. And here to tell us a bit more about it, Ryan Pettengill. He's the Executive Director of Athletes United for Social Justice, and Michael Manganello, who is a board member at the Grassroot Project. Gentlemen, good to see both of you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Tell us first, right now, the status of HIV and AIDS in the D.C. area. Where are we right now?
Well, first of all, I wanted to mention that it's also Giving Tuesday. So this is a big day between World AIDS Day and Giving Tuesday. Opportunity for your viewers to support the Grassroot Project or their favorite charity. But yeah, we are still at an alarming level. 35 million people in the world still live with HIV. 19 million don't know their status. Here in the U.S., 1.2 million. 1 in 7 don't know their status. And here in D.C., 16,000 people still living with HIV.
Is that a larger number than other major cities, or how does that compare with other metropolitan areas?
We're making progress.
Okay.
We used to be #1 on the list.
Right.
Now we're making progress. The cases of new cases of HIV in the last 5 years has steadily decreased, which is great. But we're still at 2.5% of the adult population, which is an alarming level. And people just don't realize how big of a problem it still is. There's so much stigma associated with the disease and with the risk behavior associated with it that we just don't talk about it very often. So this is a great platform, great a day to increase awareness and promote education.
Tell us about the Grassroot Project and the things that you guys are doing to promote education among young people.
Well, one of the reasons I joined Grassroot Project is I was diagnosed with HIV in 1988 when there wasn't very much hope. There was actually no hope.
Right.
And the progress that has been made is amazing. I'm managing a chronic illness now, which is very lucky. And I think care is much better. And I think we can get people into care, which is a big problem, and they get their viral burdens undetectable, they're not spreading it. But what Grassroot Project does, and I think is so important, it gets you before you're positive. It changes the behavior so you don't ever get positive. I think it's tremendous that we have medical interventions right now, but let's get them to change behavior. And when these athletes, these astounding young athletes, go into these inner city schools, I think it solves multiple problems.
We talked before about, not to bring up Magic Johnson, but when you say Magic, we knew, I think, 1991. 1988, that's amazing. The changes I know you've seen since you were diagnosed in 88 and the 27 years since then, it's night and day.
It's night and day. When I was diagnosed, they said I had 18 months.
Right.
So luckily I'm still here, but it was a battle. And we fought stigma, and we fought lack of funding, and we fought a whole bunch of barriers. And now we're at a place where an organization like the Grassroot Project can go in and take that step before. So we never have to put these kids through what I and millions of Americans went through.
Yeah, that's amazing. Can you tell us very quickly about some of the things you guys are doing right now with Grassroot?
Sure. So if you look at the risk behavior that kids are engaged in, 7th and 8th grade seems to be a pivotal point in addressing risk behavior and getting the word out. But kids don't have a safe place to talk about risk behavior. They don't have a safe place to talk about sex. So we provide that. We take our athlete role models, go into 7th grade classrooms, give them a safe space to talk about HIV and the stigma associated with it, talk about risk behavior, and talk about sex. And as I mentioned, our schools are fantastic at addressing all of what they're designed to do, but we specialize in HIV education and having these conversations.
And what is your website again for people who are interested in learning more?
It's grassrootproject.org. With Giving Tuesday today and World AIDS Day, it's a great time to visit. We have all kinds of information there for your viewers to learn about the problem.
Well, I'm glad you guys had come on today, Michael and Ryan. Good to see you again, and good to meet you as well.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on 27 years.
That's
amazing. Again, we talk about Magic. We've got a great story right here in the D.C. area.
Absolutely.
And hopefully today again proves some big things for Grassroot Project on Giving Tuesday.